3, 2, 1. My finger didn't move, bro. I was like, oh no. I'm gonna be throwing up gang signs.
You gotta include that. You gotta include that. You gotta put that in the show.
Bro.
We want to start this episode off with a special send our condolences out to basically a few people, some families, friends, teammates. This has been I would say a tough week in the sports world.
Yeah.
And I'll just start with rest in peace to is it Caleb Swanigan or is it Swanigan? I think it's Swanigan, right?
I believe so too. Apologies if we're getting it wrong.
Yeah, I don't want to get it wrong. Rest in peace to Goose, aka Tony Siragusa.
That was crazy.
Rest in peace to Sack Daddy, aka Jaylon Ferguson, and rest in peace to Brig Owens. As a Ravens fan, I was young when Goose was there. I know he won the Super Bowl with us, but I know Goose more so from like being an analyst or like
sidelines. Yep.
Yeah, just standing in the end zone.
He's in a movie James never seen.
Goose is a legend.
Probably is.
25th Hour. He's great in 25th Hour. He's like a Russian mobster.
I thought it was Top Gun. Goose.
Goose is a legend. And so I just want to extend my condolences to his family, friends, former teammates, all that good stuff. Jaylon Ferguson, a current Raven, he was drafted in the 3rd round, I want to say 2019, outside linebacker, guy who, had a lot of promise. This year, it just seemed like he was about to start to put it together. He came in like looking completely different. His body was different. He was more lean because he'd been just from a football perspective, I would like to say, he'd been able to defend the run and, he was about to, kind of get quicker, be a better pass rusher. But outside of that, because football doesn't fucking matter in the real world, I want to say he was a father. Ronnie Stanley mentioned that he always would talk about his kids.
3 kids.
And Ronnie Stanley would say he always used to talk about his kids, like after like they would like compete in practice. He would just talk about his kids and stuff like, hey, good move, or hey, you got me on that one. And they talk about Sack Daddy's kids. So I just want to extend my condolences to his family, teammates, all that good stuff, man. And it's sad, and it's just that's life, but you hate to see it.
Yes.
Did they ever say what happened to him?
Accidental overdose, I think.
They're saying accidental overdose. They didn't say of what though.
Yeah. I mean, usually it's like just a normal medication, then you like add a sleeping pill or something, and just doesn't combine. That's crazy. Right. So.
Yeah, because they said like at the scene there was no foul play or anything. There weren't like drugs. It wasn't like he's overdosing on heroin or something like that.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
That's why they always say consult your doctor before taking X, Y, Z.
With that, I would like to also say, everybody, I just, be thankful, gracious, show gratitude in life. And like, especially if you're, if you know where your next meal coming from, you got a house, you got a roof over your head, you don't have to have a house. You have an apartment, townhome, doesn't really matter. You got your family. If you're blessed, just be thankful because you never know, show gratitude, talk to people, show love to other people you love them, all that good stuff. You never know when that last day is coming.
Yep.
So, all right. And this is where they would play outstanding in the Joe Budden.
I was like, that was beautiful, but I'm sad as shit right now.
Podcast. And so we're gonna switch it up a little bit. And hold on, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Maybe K-Dot could put outstanding over top of that.
I won't.
Okay.
He's not going to, but we'll keep talking.
I was gonna say we get our own song. We could do
what song could we play without getting demonetized?
What is this synonym of outstanding? Spectacular. We'll find a song called Spectacular.
We could steal Happy from Pharrell since he already has to pay a lot of money for it. Like we can still Happy.
Yeah, who even owns that song now?
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know.
Marvin Gaye?
To the streets, apparently.
It actually might belong to the streets at this point.
Well, you remember Yo Gotti said we can take his beat, so there you go.
Oh, he did say that. He did say that.
That could be our song.
I feel like
doing that.
That beat is fire.
All right, so navigating and switching to some sports.
Yo Gotti's is better.
in a I think not necessarily a happier lane, but a very much so a funnier lane for me. Kyrie might be leaving Brooklyn. Apparently, you know, Woj and Shams have been talking it up. Just speaking about Kyrie, you know, basically the Nets don't want to pay him a full max deal, and you know, it's like it's a situation where he wants a max, and he's
like 248, right?
Huh?
A $250 million, 248.
I think so. And so like he's seemingly what it seems to be using his leverage of having KD to kind of force them to give him the max. But apparently Woj is like KD hasn't informed the Nets that he would leave if Kyrie leaves. So it's looking real murky. I'm not sure what's going to happen. Kyrie has a list of teams that, you know, he would like to be traded to in a sign and trade if, you know, it's up to him. And the teams are the Lakers, Heat, Clippers, Knicks, Mavs, and the 76ers, which I'm not sure if he knows his former teammate, like James Harden, plays there. And I don't think that's happening. I think we can rule them out. Like, I think we can pretty much rule them out. And so, yeah. But I want to know, what do you guys think? Like, should like the Nets trade Kyrie? You know, should they re-sign him? Because I mean, I know we've kind of mentioned this before. Like, giving Kyrie a max is that's shaky. That's shaky the way he's been playing. I think he's played in like 102 out of like
45%,
267 possible like games or something with the Nets.
45%.
Yeah. So the only way you can realistically re-sign him is put a clause in for games played, right?
But I don't think he wants to have that in his contract. So I think that's the issue. I mean,
you can put injury aside, right? So like if he gets injured playing the game, he still gets paid. That's not his fault. But if he is missing games for personal reasons, maybe put that in the contract and then give him the supermax and then see how many games he plays. Or hear me out. He goes to Miami because it's the flattest state in the country, right?
Fam.
He can walk. He can walk from the bottom tip all the way to the top. It'll take him weeks, but he'll be like, "Look, I told you, it's flat as shit." The highest point in Florida is 345 feet above sea level.
He will get jumped by Pat Riley and Udonis Haslem by fucking week 2.
No, man, he'll just burn some sage or some shit, and then they'll be fine. Now he's got it. As Pat far Riley as I'm concerned, and at least as a basketball fan, I want Kyrie to resign in Brooklyn, and I want them to run that duo back, because a healthy Kyrie is a healthy and present Kyrie is one of the best things on the court to watch. And with KD, and look, they could also just blow that up, and then maybe KD does his like final thing in Washington because he's getting up there in years. That's cool for me too. But just from a basketball perspective, well, I want to see those two play a whole season healthy together, because I think that's a pretty decent squad. So
I don't think KD is ever going to play in Washington.
First off, you shut your fucking mouth. But continue. You just shit on my dreams like that? It's rude.
I think KD said he's not going to play.
Look, a lot of people say a lot of things. All right.
We're not talking about Kyrie here, but yeah, Kyrie's list is stupid. Because it's like the shit that he wants, but nobody else wants. Like, come on, bro.
Wait, so you wouldn't want Dallas to take him?
The way it sounds good. Look. It sounds good. It sounds good, but then you think about it and you're like, You know damn well Kyrie believes that he's better than Luka, and that's going to be an issue. I'd rather have like Bradley Beal or Zach LaVine to play that role because at least I know they're going to be there and they're better defensively. And all the shit, like if we get Kyrie, that means Brunson's gone. So no, I'd rather not. Outside of that, like the best place I see for him is the Clippers. As long as they don't give up Kawhi or Paul George.
I was gonna say that I don't think they would, but
I don't like the Nets don't have any leverage.
Here's my thing with the Clippers situation, right? It'd be the same if he goes to the Lakers. And I made this joke on Twitter, but it's like that's a street clothes dynasty. That's street clothes dynasty. Like he go to the Clippers and Kyrie's out tonight. Kawhi's playing. Kawhi's out tonight. Kyrie's playing. Paul George is out tonight. Kyrie and Kawhi are playing. They might like they get extreme hype, and then you'd be like, why did they lose in the second round? They got no fucking chemistry because they're all playing 60 games or 50 to 60 games, but it's not the same 50 and 60 games.
Or it's 38.7 if you're Kyrie.
Right. They play like it'll be a situation similar to Harden and Kyrie and KD, where it's like, yeah, they played a season together and they only played 15 games together. Like,
but like, all right, with Kyrie, most of the games that he missed was because he wasn't going to get vaccinated. So, like, that's kind of over now.
Yeah, but in the same vein,
it could be something else, but like, I don't see anything else that can come up that he'll just be like, all right, I'm not playing.
You can't?
No, but
you can't envision a world in which
you're right.
Kyrie doesn't play.
You're right. All right.
55% of the games.
I don't want to think about it. I feel so bad.
Other than getting vaccinated. Look, the best place. The problem is you can't pay him a supermax deal for this, but the best place for Kyrie is on a young team where you're not. You have to be expecting him to only play 50% of the games. But you also have to be willing to pay him that amount of money because you think it can push you over the edge. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. That's where he's going to work. But he's not going to
work.
That's where he will work better. But like, how about the Lakers, right? They love aging 50% game plan type talent for a lot of money.
Well, look, the only way I can see outside of him opting out and then signing the taxpayer MLE, which is like $6 million, right? If the only way to make that work would be if the Lakers traded Westbrook and THT for Kyrie and fucking Joe Harris,
and they do it in a fucking second. Hold on, they gonna get Joe Harris too? Oh my god,
that's the only way to make it work with the cap.
The Lakers.
I know that's the only way to make it work with the cap. Outside of if it's just like, Kyrie's going to take the $6 million. But the part about that is like, all right, Kyrie can take the $6 million with the hopes of Westbrook's $47 million comes off the books the following year.
Everybody's just trying to get rid of Westbrook's contract. It's fantastic.
I mean, this is the last year. It's expiring contract.
I know. But if you can unload that last year for Kyrie, who's a better player right now? Even at 50% of the games.
Kyrie.
Yeah.
I think if Kyrie at 20% of the games,
at least Westbrook's going to be there.
Right. To do what?
At least Westbrook's going to be there.
That's a fun question. Real quick. Just a real quick canvas. You guys, who's better all time, Russ or Kyrie? I think that's a fun question because you really have to think about it. We're talking primes and all that.
Prime Russ was dangerous. That's what
Kyrie never won MVP.
Right, but look at that fit. Does Russ win the finals with Bron? If that same Cavs team, Russ putting up 40 back-to-back games,
I don't think they work. They mesh together well. I don't like the LeBron and Westbrook fit.
Kyrie is like one of the most like abrasive people to be around, as we've seen. Like, how Russ is not.
His teammates love him
more.
Who loves what? Who loves him? Who loves who?
Like the teammates. I haven't heard the
Kyrie.
Teammate. Yeah, I haven't heard people like.
Yeah, I was about to say whomst.
Who have you heard say something bad about Kyrie?
I have more about who said something good.
That's
fair, but has anyone said anything bad?
No, like the Celtics players have said, like Celtics players spoken glowingly about him. Like
people love Kyrie.
Former
He's a good guy.
players.
Yeah, he just does stuff.
James Harden hasn't, but I'm gonna be honest. I don't care what he has to say about.
Right, and it's like this man be spending half his time in the strip club. Like fuck that.
Don't do that. James Harden be in the strip club, but he be putting up 30 before. Like this year, he give you 40.
He didn't do that shit last year neither.
Hey,
he didn't do that last year neither.
45% of his time in the strip club, which is exactly the amount of games that Kyrie Irving played last year.
Why did Brooklyn lose in the series against Boston?
They were outplayed.
According to KD, it's because when he was double teamed, the other players did not make shots.
Was Kyrie playing?
He did play, and he had a great game one. KD didn't have a great anything.
KD looked like he had been at the strip club for 45% of the time during the.
Hey, he was hanging out with James Harden, bro.
Yeah. No. Hey, look, you just have like. People have bad games. When you have a bad series, something is wrong, right? If you're KD level, no, if you're KD level,
everybody has a bad series.
Not a 7-game series. Don't care.
The year before when they lost,
Tatum just
Milwaukee.
had one.
Sorry, the year before when they lost against Milwaukee, what happened?
He didn't have help.
No, KD's foot was on.
Yeah, but he didn't have enough help. They should have. If his foot was like behind that,
because James Harden was hurt too at the same time.
Harden was hurt. Kyrie was hurt.
Yeah.
KD didn't have enough.
And they still almost won.
The help was there this year, though.
Are any of them getting any younger?
Are any of them named Benjamin Button?
All right. I went back before we started this pod to listen to the segment that we had called "What's Next for the Nets." It happened right after the series. It was a fairly long segment. Keem, I don't think you were there, strangely, but I
wasn't.
Yeah, you weren't there for that one. But as I've said, I'm going to say it again. Kyrie is a terrible business partner. That does not make him a bad guy. This does not make him somebody that I won't still root for. But if you're a business entering in a relationship with him from a business perspective, you need to protect yourself. Brooklyn has been one of the biggest disappointments maybe in the history of the NBA as far as what it is that they were supposed to be when the crew first got together to what they are now. It's been a colossal shit show. The third guy that's supposed to be the big thing to enter the mix is a guy in Ben Simmons, which I'm still quite firm, and I don't know if we'll ever see him play again, especially play for an organization in which there's going to be pressure to win. So if I'm Brooklyn at this particular point, knowing that, like, look, if I'm KD, I know that to a certain degree, Kyrie let me down last year, but he's still my boy. And I'm not going to do anything to throw him under the bus, but I'm also not going to go hand over fist to fight for him to be there next to me. So whatever it takes is whatever it takes. Whatever's best for him is what's best for him. But if your KD and Kyrie goes by, do you think Brooklyn can build a squad around you to win something and to win something next year?
I think that depends on your faith in Ben Simmons coming back, right? Because Ben Simmons isn't the only player who wasn't out. You just mentioned one, Joe Harris, right? Mm-hmm. Joe Harris is a really good player. That should knock down 3-point shooter. He's a really good role player, the type of guy who's like hey, you gonna leave him open? Hey, you gonna play KD tough? Leave him open. Joe Harris is gonna knock down shots, right?
Got it. And so let me reiterate one other thing. This is in an Eastern Conference. Do you think the conference as a whole is getting better or getting worse?
That's a tough question because I want to argue it's stagnant, and the reason I say that is
that's cool by me. Even if you say that
Holiday's older, Drew Holiday is getting older.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy Butler's getting older.
Mm-hmm.
The only team that is like peak like age is Boston,
mm-hmm.
and it's like they just beat y'all ass.
Only sweat that happened in the entire playoffs.
But the conference as a whole, I think it's stagnant. I think the only thing we got to worry about actually getting better is Boston. Now, the difference is Middleton hopefully will be healthy next year for Milwaukee.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But the point is made. Even if it's stagnant, right? Once again, KD now has to rely on the second probably either first or second worst person as far as players go in the NBA to have a business relationship with, Ben Simmons. It's a no-win.
Wait,
there's somebody else out there.
It's the first one, Kyrie, and then Ben Simmons.
It's Kyrie or Ben, toss up as of right now, as far as the dude that you want to rely on based on the contract to know the contract don't mean a goddamn thing, which I get the energy in the sense of teams being able to do whatever they want to players. I get it. Maybe there's some people that are root for that. Cool. But if I'm honestly looking at it from a player perspective and whether or not I can trust the guy next to me to show up every game, whether or not I can trust the guy next to me to go 100% effort and we're going to win something, when I'm getting older up in age, I really think it's time to blow it up. And the reason I think it's the time to blow it up is if I'm Brooklyn, it gets rid of I'm not signing Kyrie to anything that's not either a short-term deal or has a bunch of language in the contract saying you got to play a certain percentage of your games. But even with that, we've seen people do the James Harden diet or all kinds of other shit to make sure they can get out of whatever situation they want to or don't have to play whenever they want to. So even if that's the case, I still don't know if I could trust this guy, right? So even if he were to sign all these things, there's still this level of, dude, can I even trust him? If I'm Brooklyn, I'm looking at it. If I'm being completely honest with myself, I think Ben Simmons, the entire reason he did not come back last year was because of the pressure of knowing he was going to come back in a playoff series they were going to require. He was going to have to work and do something. Guess what happens when they get rid of KD and they get rid of Kyrie? There's no expectation, really. And I think Ben Simmons can actually look forward to coming back and cooking and maybe building something around him. And it might be worth doing. But what you're not going to do, Brooklyn, is think that you can run it back with these same guys that A, they're going to stay healthy because everybody's getting older. And the last few seasons have only shown that it's getting worse.
KD to Milwaukee.
And they're terrible business partners.
KD can still be in Brooklyn and they can swap out Kyrie for Zach LaVine.
But what KD
and they'll be a second round out.
Right. KD to Milwaukee.
If that. Like,
I think you're giving him too much credit.
Listen. I've had a revelation after my guy won this finals MVP and he won these finals, but it's not really a revelation. It's something I've been saying like for years though. Like, and it's something that Stephen A has said, and it's like Kevin Durant pushed back on it, or like no, it was Charles Barkley actually. He said he's never been good as a bus driver, right? And I know it's Chuck, and there might be some hateration there, and like a little bit, like especially with the guys making more money now than they did then. But it's also a little truth to it, a lot of truth to it. Because here's his thing: like KD was also, because he did this on Twitter. He was talking, when he had one of his Twitter rants, he was talking about how like he's great offensively. Probably they said he was top 3 offensively. Somebody said he was top 3 offensively all time. He's like, that's a disservice to me. And I was like, I'm so glad he said that, because that same Kevin Durant was up 3-1 against the Golden State Warriors in 2016 with Russ still playing relatively well.
Russ that actually still cooks. Yeah.
And KD didn't cook shit. Okay. Maybe that's a blip on the radar, right? Goes to Golden State, freed up, goes crazy, right? Okay, cool. Goes to Brooklyn. All right. Last year he cooks. Not enough. All right. Hey, we're gonna give him a pass. Hey, he didn't have his help. Give him a pass. This year, Boston bottled him up. That defense bottled him up. Him, Giannis, Jimmy, not Steph. Okay. All right. I don't know. Maybe another blip. Is it another blip? I don't know. It's like 3 blips. It's like 3 or 4 blips. It's crazy. Like, I don't. What are we saying here? As the bus driver, KD hasn't been that good. He's not that. He hasn't been that guy. So I just don't know if you get rid of Kyrie. I don't know who you'd have to bring in to for it to be enough.
Are you saying that instead of the bus driver, he's like one of the crossing guards that wears the yellow strap
Sash
to make sure you get off the bus? Yeah, no, he doesn't. Look, yeah, he needs to be on a team with another superstar, and not only another superstar, but one that stays healthy.
He needs to be on a team with the best goddamn team of basketball. Is that what he needs?
Yeah.
Is that what KD needs?
He's had 2 other superstars.
That's what I'm saying. It's not superstars, man. He has to literally be on the best team in basketball to win.
But then he plays.
Sad. He
plays really well when he does that. Though.
But I'm saying, like, look, come on, man. Like, he's had in the last 2 years, Kyrie, Harden. He
ain't had him.
He chose the situation. He chose these guys.
I'm saying they weren't there.
But once again, here's what my heart pumps purple piss for fucking KD and feeling sorry for him under any circumstances of the situations happening in Brooklyn. Mm-hmm. You built the entire house, sir. The entire thing. So, but if and look, I understand, even from a legacy style, I'll be the first one on this podcast if he requests a trade from Brooklyn. Oh, you running again, huh? Like, I'll be the first one to do it. Because it's true. Now, I'm hoping he runs to Washington and see if two guys that shouldn't be bus drivers and him and Beal can put something together. But it's just...
Well, I mean, the whole thing with KD so far in his career, right? He's never left like Anthony Davis. Like, he played out his contract the whole time, and then he left in free agency every time.
Yeah,
so far. Like, so he got 4 years left on his deal. So if he leaves, I can see what you're saying. Like, I'll be right there with you. But yeah, I don't think he's gonna win in Brooklyn unless something crazy happens. But I mean, Zach LaVine's still out there. I believe in that guy.
Let me actually, James, we did our top 10 list last week, right? With Ron.
Yeah.
Is KD your top 20?
No. Top 20, yeah.
Yeah.
Top 20.
Gotta be. Yeah. Gotta be. Still gotta be.
He had me on an emergency pod yesterday, and it got ugly.
He's got to be top 20. Top 10?
No.
Yeah, no.
You slammed the door shut on that convo.
I don't think he slammed the door shut.
I'm saying slam. I'm not having the conversation unless he's vying for a championship again.
If he wins next year, wins the Finals MVP, hey, he's up there. He probably
not. Look, here's the thing. When it comes to stuff like this, right? It's not enough to be like, yeah, he's not in the top 10, top 20 yet. Like, he is in the top 10. You got to tell me who you're taking out. And then once you start to do that, it gets real difficult.
I know my top 10 almost by heart now because I've been thinking about it.
Yeah, but then it's like, all right, if you're going to put KD in the top 10, who are you taking out? But I don't think any of us have him in the top 10.
No, fuck no. He's not in my top 10.
No. Anthony Davis.
But if any of y'all out there
and Kobe aren't in my top 10. Steph and Kobe aren't in my top 10, and there's no chance KD's getting in over this.
They're both in my top 10.
So, I know. It's close.
Yeah.
Do you have Bill Russell in your top 10?
I know. I don't want to have that.
Look. No.
I really don't want to have it. Yeah, he is in my top 10. I don't want to have
like a 50
Will Chamberlain and Bill Russell, the both two guys who played against a bunch of white guys, they are in my top 10.
No. I just asked. That's why
they play against each other.
Listen, literally, if I counted them, then you could maybe take Steph and Kobe out of mine. But it's just like I don't count them. I don't.
And I get it. I'm not gonna fight it. I understand. Like, I've had enough. That's just a clear line in the sand as far as people look at as far as Bill Russell. Well, I'm on one side, a lot of people on the other side of it.
And see, it's not even that. I don't even like rank them at all. It's just legends. I just put them as legends. I start counting. My personal rule is you have to have played the majority of your career when the ABA and the NBA merged. That's what I count as. That's where I rank. That's all.
I like that. You know what?
That kind of sounds like Gilbert. He said anybody before 1985, fuck him.
Yeah, but Gilbert
not 85 though. I'm talking. That's 73.
Gilbert's a dickhead.
I know.
I love Gil to death. He's a fucking dickhead.
That shit was funny.
Hey, I just want to circle back real quick to something that Keem said about the 3 blips. In emergency sirens, 3 blips means impending disaster. So I just spent like 5 minutes trying to look that up, and I finally found it. Civil defense. If you hear 3 blips, it's a disaster. That's where we're at. There's too many blips. That's what I'm saying.
To me, there's 2 options for Brooklyn. It's either blow the entire fucking thing up, like blow the whole goddamn thing up, and you're building around Ben, or you run it back. If they run it back, if they do run it back, knowing everything we know right now, are they playing for a championship next year?
No.
Yes.
No.
If they run it back, if Ben plays, we're talking about Ben playing.
This is literally just knowing what you know right now. knowing what you know about Ben's history, knowing that there's a good chance, like, what are you that you think is going to happen? I don't think Ben plays again with those two guys. That's me. But I want to know, what do you think? Knowing everything you know right now, are they playing for a championship next year if they run it back?
So I was already thinking about my next year prediction, right? And I had Clippers Nets, or I was struggling between Clippers Nets and Clippers Bucks. The Nets thing hinged on Ben. It hinges on Ben, like, because I'm assuming Kyrie's going to be available. But to your point, K-Dot, like, there's been so many times that Kyrie hasn't been available. Like, Kyrie hasn't been available, and Ben Simmons hasn't been available, and KD hasn't been enough. And that's not fair to KD necessarily, but that just is what it is. And so it hinges. It's like a roll of the dice. It's like you trying to crap out. It's like, hey, I think if they're gonna be healthy, I'm gonna go with the Nets.
So my follow-up question, because I knew somebody had to say yes. My follow-up question is, if you're the Nets, are you betting on it?
You kind of got to at this point.
Yeah, you do. You
think you have to?
As much as you've given up, like, if you blow it up now, you're just like admitting defeat.
You traded. See, this was their problem. They traded the farm. They did the Anthony Davis thing. They traded the good youth, the young players who had talent and skill. A good team that was good, well built around KD and Kyrie to go get James Harden, right? Then you traded Harden literally the next year, and we're like, hey, we got Ben Simmons and Seth Curry and Drummond, and you're like, all right, but now you're like, okay, well, if Ben Simmons doesn't play, we have to get rid of Kyrie. It's just dwindling. it's looking like
yeah. So it's either you reset or you retool. It's Friday. I'm going to sleep after this.
All right. Ryan is no longer with us. No, he's
shit.
Alive,
neither am I.
He's alive, but his computer rebooted, and so we're going to finish the pod without Ryan unless he comes back. So we'll see how that goes. But James is going to break down the Kyrie potential trades.
All right. So looking at the list he put out there, which again is stupid. He had 6 teams up there, and looking at the cap, right? I'm only going based on what works, like, cap wise.
Okay.
Like, the Nets are probably not going to do 99% of these trades.
So who are we supposed to be agreeing or not agreeing as? The other team?
No, I'm just going to tell you what the potential trade would be, and you guys just tell me how stupid it is. Cool?
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So for the Clippers, which is he's back.
I would love to, like, just finish the pod with just not his face, just Ryan Harold right there.
Fuck you.
All right.
Fuck your internet.
No, dude, my computer locked up. I could hear you guys fine.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. So looking at the first one, my number one pick for the place for him to go would be the Clippers.
We're still talking about fucking Kyrie?
Yes.
We were trying to wait.
Oh, my.
Yeah, we waited for you. We talked about other shit. Now you're back. So Kyrie again. All right. So the Clippers would get Kyrie. The Nets would get Marcus Morris, Reggie Jackson, and Ivan Zubac, right? Just to make the contracts work. The Nets aren't going to do that shit. But imagine Kyrie with Kawhi and Paul George.
What'd you name this team? What was the AKAs for this team, Kim?
Oh, Street Clothes Dynasty.
There we go.
Street Clothes Dynasty. Listen, that is the best, like...
I mean, how much street clothes are going to be in it? Both of them didn't play last year. Like, shit, all 3 of them didn't play.
But Kawhi is load management. That's always load management. And they load manage Paul George too, and that fucking bum shoulder he got. And so, like...
I think he had surgery on that thing. So it should be healthy.
Should be. So should Kawhi. So should his knee.
I don't know.
I bet you right now, James, if Kawhi play more than 70 games right now, he win MVP, but I'll give you $50.
I don't think Kawhi is going to play more than 70 ever again, because I think that injury is that bad. I think that injury is bad. They said, what was it, like a quad injury, but I'm like, is that his patella too? Like that's some shit.
He's had a quad. He's had a knee. And
he's got San Diego.
Like you remember Cadillac Williams?
Yeah,
that's how his career ended. The
John Gruden ran that man into the ground.
Yeah, he tore his patella tendon. All right,
I loved Cadillac. He was.
I think
so. The Clippers would have Kyrie. The Clippers would have Kyrie, Kawhi, PG, Norman Powell, and Covington still, and then Drummond and Whiteside are still both free agents, so you could pick up centers there. That would be nice if they were all healthy and they played. All right. The second team on the list would be the Heat.
Okay.
I just want to see Pat Riley fight Kyrie. That's my main reason. But other than that, trade? the Heat would get Kyrie, the Nets would get Kyle Lowry and Max Strus. Because Oladipo, yeah, like just because of the contracts. Kyrie Lowry's making a stupid amount of money. So if you swap them, there you go. You got like Kyle Lowry makes most of it, and then Strus is like at like 1.6 million. So when you add that in, then the trade works. And Oladipo's a free agent, I believe. So I couldn't even add him. Yeah, that shit would just be funny. And then or you can do Kyrie and Joe Harris for Kyle Lowry and Duncan Robinson. You could do that too.
So somebody explain this to me because I still don't fully understand it.
We're just going through potential.
No. This particular point. So for a sign and trade, right?
Oh. Mm-hmm.
Who picks up the full contract? Is the team that you're getting traded to?
Yeah.
Or is the team that is doing the trading responsible for any amount of the money?
The team you're going to.
Yeah.
But who takes the cap hit?
Like the team you're getting traded to.
Yeah.
So what the fuck's the point of a sign and trade?
The point of it is
so it's more so like because you can't sign so Kyrie's a free agent, you can't sign him explicitly, right? So the team that has him can sign him because for whatever cap reasons, because they have bird rights, right? They have bird rights. Okay. So they sign him and then they just have to be within, I believe, James, I don't know if you know, but I think it's like 10% of the deal.
Yeah, plus like 100K. Yeah, plus 100,000, I think.
Yeah, something like it's like 10% plus 100,000, and it's like you got to be within that. So like I think Kyrie would make like 40. Is it 47 million?
No, yeah, because I think right now he's at 36.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and he has a 15 it's a 15% trade kicker, where he gets to 42 million if he gets traded. And so like to be able, basically you got to be within like 47 to like whatever.
If I am the Nets, that sign and trade for Kyle Lowry sounds fucking delicious.
I would not do that. Kyle Lowry is going to be a corpse
soon. Yeah, no, he already is.
45% of the game.
So yeah, I mean, with that, the Heat would finally get a consistent / non-consistent score, and it would be able to take the load off of Jimmy Butler, like because Jimmy Butler's not
a number one option.
Yeah, he's not that guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're not that guy, man. You're not that guy.
Third team on the list would be the Mavs.
Here we go.
No, Ryan, relax. I'm going through his list of people.
Every time you say Mavs, I just try.
Okay, that's fine. All right. So the Mavs would get Kyrie and Seth Curry. The Nets would
I like my internet.
The Nets would get Tim Hardaway Jr., Bertans, and Powell. I want to get rid of Bertans and Powell anyway. So I'm like, this is great. Get the fuck out of here. So we would have Luka, Kyrie, Dorian Finney-Smith, and Christian Wood, and then we would need to pick up a center.
There's no way.
It's not happening. I know. I agree. It's not happening. That's why.
No way the Mavericks make that trade without giving up Brunson.
I mean, Brunson's a free agent.
Yeah, but it'd be a sign. They'd be like, "Hey, you want to go to Brooklyn?" And he's down and say, "Yeah."
Not. I mean, there's no point in him going to Brooklyn. If we had to do it, it'd have to be with New York. So,
but Brooklyn will want him.
No, of course Brooklyn won, but he's not going to go to Brooklyn. I think his father is the assistant coach for the Knicks now. They just hired him
they hired him to lure him away.
I know, which is stupid.
Hey, he can visit that. He can visit dad down the street.
They can live next to each other, man.
Right,
he can visit dad down the street.
All right. So next one on the list is the Sixers. The Sixers get Kyrie. The Nets would get Tobias Harris, and then possibly Thibault. I don't think they need Thibault like to make it work. Contract.
Yes, they do.
Like the contract wise, they don't.
Well, no, like defensively.
I know
the Nets,
but I'm saying like the Nets would want to get Thibault, but they don't necessarily need it for the contracts to work. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I feel like both teams get worse in this deal. So, like, because James Harden's going to leave.
Philly. That actually makes sense for Philly. But
James Harden would leave.
If Kyrie's going to play out the whole, no, because he wouldn't have to deal with Kyrie not playing because Philly doesn't have that issue. Pennsylvania doesn't have that issue.
I mean,
and he could go to more strip clubs.
I mean, New York doesn't have the issue anymore either. But,
yeah. So, yeah, James Harden's not going to play with Kyrie again.
I've been on the NBA trade machine trying to get rid of the entire Wizards roster to get Kyrie and KD.
Hey, don't use the trade machine because it's using it's not accurate.
I've broken it like crazy. Yeah, it's not accurate. It's not working.
Spot track.
It's also like, no, this will not happen.
Yeah, it's
full track or whatever.
Yes, yeah, that's the best.
Yeah, that one works because it has a current cap numbers. All right. After that, the Lakers, right? The Lakers would get Kyrie and Joe Harris. The Nets would get Westbrook and THT. So KD's probably gonna leave.
Yeah, KD goes to Milwaukee.
And yeah, and then you got Westbrook and Ben Simmons on the same team, which would be weird.
No, it'd be great.
No, it would not.
No, it'd be great for us to talk about. It wouldn't be great for basketball.
You could possibly add in Houston to this, and then swap out Westbrook with John Wall.
No, if John Wall and Westbrook's. Oh, I'm sorry. You're saying trade John Wall to Brooklyn. I thought you were talking about
Westbrook
Lakers.
would go to Houston.
How hilarious would it be if they just swapped the Westbrook and John Wall contracts?
They did that already. Again. No. All right. So then the last one, which I don't even really want to discuss really because it's not happening ever in life, would be the New York Knicks, right? Which would be they would have to trade Randall and Burks, and then they get Kyrie based on the contract.
That'd be stupid as hell.
Yeah.
You want to keep Randall, so you give up whatever else you can, but that's stupid.
I mean, for contract wise, like, gotta do what you gotta do. All right. So those are the 6 teams.
Kyrie signs his Kyrie gets player option for $39.6 million, and we're back here at the same time next year talking about Kyrie.
Or all right, or he opts out and then he signs with one of these teams with the MLE.
Give me your predictions. Go ahead, James. You go first. Give me your prediction for what actually is going to happen.
Okay, what I think is going to happen is I think Brooklyn's going to fold, and he's going to stay with Brooklyn. Yeah, it makes no sense to try to break it up this soon, based on all the shit that they gave up for this to happen. Because you basically like screwed up your whole franchise for the next 10 years.
You mean, and also the last 20?
I'm in agreement with you, James. Exact agreement. K-Dot, why you playing with that fucking trade machine? What do you think is going to happen with Kyrie?
I think Kyrie and Katie are going to the Wizards for KCP, Kristaps, Kyle Kuzma. Johnny Davis, get the fuck out.
Well, I mean, like, you're going to have the same issues that the Nets are.
I think Bradley Beal is a trustable guy.
Bradley Beal opted out.
Huh?
He opted out.
He was hurt and the team wasn't going anywhere. I understand.
I just said he opted out. So
what do you mean he opted out?
I believe he opted out of the player option.
He has to opt out in order to sign the max. It's the way that it goes in that process.
I just feel like he's going to go somewhere else.
Bradley Beal staying in Washington. It's
I heard the quote. He was like, he was talking to somebody. He's like, yeah, like the one thing I don't want to do is to look back and regret that I didn't do.
Brad's not going anywhere. I want him to go somewhere. He's not going anywhere.
He going to the Heat.
I can see that.
He's signing that goddamn deal. He's staying away.
I can see a sign and trade with y'all in Miami.
I'm not
y'all get Kyle Lowry.
I don't give a fuck. All I'm saying is that I'm ready to rebuild here in Washington. So
y'all been doing that shit for 20 years.
No, we haven't.
Are rebuilding.
No, we haven't. We have not done a full rebuild on this team in quite some time.
But that's the worst part to be in the NBA. You never want to be just like in the middle. Either you should be really bad.
That's the point. Really that's where I'm at. I'm sick and tired of this mediocrity bullshit. I want to be bad. I look at Oklahoma City and I'm like,
you guys in the play-in?
This last year, no. We were with Russ.
So you're really bad. I mean, so you're really bad.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, well, no, that's not true. It's not that we're really bad. We're not OKC. Like, that's the thing is like hovering around where you're getting this. And look, would I trade the Wizards situation for the OKC situation right now? Yes. In a heartbeat.
I think their situation is over, but I understand.
They got pieces.
They got picks. They got picks. Look, they got one piece.
They got picks and they got a piece.
A really good piece.
But here's the thing. But the thing is they have picks and pieces to move for the next at least 3-4 years. So this is the thing.
They got two pieces.
And Chet.
They got Giddey and they got
the number 2 pick in the draft, right?
They got Giddey and they got SGA. Question, James, do you know the history of number 2 picks in the draft?
No.
Wasn't
Beasley
number
2
picks in the draft aren't.
Are we going to draft talk?
They aren't very good.
I didn't even get to give my prediction. But
yeah, I'm sorry. I derailed what the Wizards say.
But I'm gonna let you get to it, right? Most number 2 picks in the draft, a lot of them end up getting traded to like other teams, right? So if you look at like, I think Brandon Ingram was the number 2 pick, traded. Lonzo Ball traded, huh?
He's good too.
Right. They're good. It's not that they're bad, but it's like they end up like they don't work out. They don't reach the all right. You should have been a number 2 pick kind of potential. That's just.
I mean, look, the only
number
thing
2
that
overall
I really care
picks,
about this point.
Number 2 overall picks: Jalen Green, James Wiseman, John Morant, Marvin Bagley, Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, D'Angelo Russell, Jabari Parker, Oladipo.
Oladipo?
Hey, I'm holding up my Doctor Strange. You got one superstar in there, and that's Ja.
No,
you got one.
All right, the superstars. All right, hold up. All right, fuck you. Steve Francis. Steve Francis.
Traded. Keep going. Make my point for me.
Yeah, it was the Grizzlies.
Superstar.
Shit.
Look.
Mike Bibby. Traded.
Jason Kidd.
Bam. That's their
Kevin Durant
career, bro.
Kevin, that's the best. And guess what Kevin Durant did? Left. You got Ja and KD.
Eventually.
So, it happens every 12 years.
That's BS, man. That's BS.
That's right. I had to go way back.
That's some BS. Like you looking at people's whole careers, like they got traded eventually.
No, but they don't work out. The point is that they don't work out with the team that they get drafted by.
KD's team dissolved. The Seattle Supersonics.
I love seeing the Supersonics.
Oh yeah, we don't count the Sonic. Come on, bro. You count the Sonics now? They're not a team.
I have to.
No, I'm talking to Keem.
Where's Seattle?
No. He got he got traded from. He left the Thunder, which is his original team. He didn't win a championship with them.
Historically, free agency
don't win championships with the team that drafted them.
All right,
even if they're good.
Sorry for derailing it with the whole Wizard thing. I don't think it's gonna. Here's my prediction is nobody knows what the fuck is gonna happen. I don't know what's gonna happen. It's literally a toss up. But I think I think it's one of two things. Period.
Okay.
They're all gone, or nothing happens. Everybody comes back and they run it back. I don't think it'll be piecemeal. I don't think it'll be Kyrie goes, KD stays. I think it's all out.
Okay.
Or all in.
Yeah.
Okay. Ryan.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do we care about my opinion now? Is that what we're doing?
No, let's talk about the NBA draft.
Opportunity to say it.
Cool. Let's move on. Now, if I'm Kyrie's agent, let him sign for $40 million to run it back 1 year with the Nets, play more than 45% of the games, easily get a supermax because he's a superstar. Then we don't even have this conversation. If he plays 75% of the games at Kyrie level, there'll be teams out there begging for him. Right now, he's a liability. If he makes himself a commodity over the next 8 months, there'll be no question. And he extends his contract by 5 more years after that, right? So, like, he's 30 years old. I keep forgetting that, but he's 30. Mm-hmm. he can get himself a contract at 36 and make 40 mil this year. That's what I'd do if I was him. KD then stays. It works out for a year. And by works out, I mean probably ends in the first round. But, if Kyrie's playing like Kyrie should be playing and has the ability, and now that he can play unvaccinated, he can play a ton more games this year. If he stays healthy, he's a commodity that he's going to get a max deal. And then he gets a contract till he's 36. He quits at 33, moves to an island that's flat, whatever. But I that's what I would suggest to him would be to
speaking of Kyrie, right?
Go ahead.
I was like, how many championships does he have?
7.
He has
up
one
here.
in 2016. So that's like 6 years ago.
Dude, I always think for some reason, I always think players are older than they actually are. Like LeBron to me, too. LeBron, I remember when I got the Sports Illustrated with him on the front, and it was him dunking the ball, looking real young. But I was like, I think I was in high school.
Yeah, he was high school.
Yeah, but like back when I still got Sports Illustrated, and because that seems so long ago to me, I'm like, fuck.
You're good.
No, I'm certainly not.
We see you and we hear you.
Okay, well, I can't see anybody.
That's cool. Just keep talking.
So
he can't see you, Ken.
Kyrie seems like he's 50, but he's only 30. So he needs a good season under his belt.
Oh shit.
He went away. All right, let me.
You froze.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah,
we can hear you. We're just
you got your point.
All right,
you got your point.
Yeah, I love this. All right, so we kind of hit on the draft. The draft.
Weak ass collar, that's a cheap ass shirt.
That's an ugly V-neck.
That's the ugliest goddamn V-neck.
He can hear you.
Fruit of the Loom V-neck on. It was just rocking it.
Brian, fight back.
Man, fuck y'all.
This shit goes under to the NBA draft.
Holy shit! I have not seen that name in forever. What I've been doing? You ever go on the website StatMuse?
Yeah.
Yes.
You just type in something. So, so after you said the thing about the number 2 pick, I just started typing in different picks to see if I could figure out which pick had. So I saw Vladimir Radmanovic, which I haven't seen that name in forever.
Legend.
But here's what I am realizing. Are we about to talk about the draft?
Yeah.
All right. So NBA draft. There you go. I introed the segment for you. The NBA draft sucks ass. Can we say that?
It's a crap.
It's not just the number 2 pick.
Absolute crap. That's why I keep pulling them like,
it's like
I'm gonna come around no pick that's not number 1. It's like, no.
Yeah. A lot of them are bad.
Jesus Christ.
But the only thing I do know is I want to be the team who picks after the Kings every year.
Every year. Okay,
year.
So I'm glad you said that. So do you think they fucked it up?
Yes.
Okay.
Royally.
You think they should have taken Ivy? Screenshot it. Somebody screenshot it. Please, damn.
There's no need to screenshot. It's getting saved. The video did just that, so we're good.
That was amazing. That was
Ryan
great,
coming in with an American Online fucking free.
Yeah. That was the damn shocked emoji right there. That was great. But yeah, they should have took Ivy. But you heard Ivy say it was like, nah, I ain't going to the Kings. You know why? Because he was like, all right, if I don't go to the Kings, whoever's after the Kings is gonna pick me, and that means I'm gonna be great.
All right, so I'll start this off. I want to talk about what I liked, like the teams that I thought it did a good job. I'll start with the Pistons, man. My mom's from Detroit. I always have a soft spot for the Pistons, so I want them to do well, not too well. But they already have Cade. I love what they did in the draft. Just from literally just a drafting perspective. I don't think they made any trades too, but getting Ivy, putting them with Cade, and then they get is it Darden? Is it Darden?
I believe so. That was a trade with the Knicks, I believe.
They did. So they got Darden too, who's a rim runner. Oh my God, they give them 3 years. There's gonna be a 3-2-1 seed. If they can stay healthy, man. I really hope they stay healthy. And so I just want to say shout out to the Pistons. They're finally turning that shit around because they haven't been good for a while. They had to sit through the Greg Monroe and the Andre Drummond years, which was That was tough in the Rodney Stuckey years, post like Billups and Hamilton. So they're finally like
Blake Griffin guy had a dunk ear.
I don't think he forgot. He's just like, I'm not
Blake
doing
Griffin
it.
just
I'm not
stopped
doing it in
everything
this
when he had to
fucking
go to
state.
Detroit.
I bet you he made a bet with somebody. And he's like, I won't dunk the whole year.
I also like what we did, the Warriors.
We
like, yeah.
Are we gonna do this bit every
what
time?
What does Steph Curry do? What does Steph Curry do? That's all
guys,
you need to worry about.
Let me just.
What does Steph Curry do in this draft?
This is not about Steph Curry. We picked Patrick Baldwin Jr., who is he was supposed to be a top 10 prospect last year. And like he just had some ankle injury. He's playing for his dad in Minnesota. And like that's kind of questionable when you play for your dad. But
he had COVID, which knocked him out for a hot minute.
Right. And he has a lot of potential. He has size, which the Warriors need. So I really like that. They got some good picks in the second round. I forgot the guy's name from Toledo. He's a good shooter and playmaker. And
he's the one that did the Steph where he shot the ball and turned around, looked at the opposing bench, and then ran down the court before it went in.
He'll fit in just fine.
Ryan Rollins.
Yeah.
He'll fit in just fine. So I like what they did as well. And yeah, so.
Do you see the video of Chet Holmgren crossing up Steph?
Yeah.
Dude.
OKC's.
I hope he is. He seems like he should have been a number one pick to me, but I don't know. This was the first draft where I feel like I didn't know enough about the prospects. Like I just like read up on what the Ringer has. And so like that's all I knew, but I feel like I really didn't know anything about him. I didn't see many of them play.
So Paulo Banchero going first for me is fireable. Like the amount of talent that is not Banchero is massive. Anyway, Chet Holmgren is a fantastic pick. That team is going to be, they may not be good right off the bat, but I can guarantee you they're gonna be fun as shit to watch. That team's got a lot of really good talent right now. Especially if they can hold, like, because most of them are still on rookie deals, right? SGA's on a rookie deal. Giddey and Chet Holmgren are gonna be the most awkward people on the court, but if they're balling, it's gonna be so much fun to watch. Jabari Smith was a fucking steal.
Yep.
At 3. Jaden Ivey was a fucking steal. Wizards, man. I really want to like Johnny Davis. I really do.
But it sounds like y'all got him to, prepare for Bradley Beal going.
So he was on the Olympic team, right?
I can't remember.
I feel like he was. Anyway, I hope he's great. But like the Wizards were one of the worst teams last year, and we end up 10th, and we get Johnny Davis. It's not a bet. It's not bad falling that far. The Wizards are gonna be terrible next year anyway, so let's just get over that. But I think the steal of the draft so far, who the fuck was he? The G League Ignite guy.
Oh, yeah.
What's his name?
The Mavericks.
Jaden
Harden.
Yeah.
I like him at 37.
Yeah, I was like, what?
Yeah, I like him. I like him a lot.
Because last year he was the number 2 overall prospect. And then he went to the G League, played against grown men, had growing pains, and they dropped him 37. I was like, he essentially just had his rookie year.
Yeah, that's a steal.
So I was like, all right, cool.
G League's fantastic for.
I'm also worried that this could possibly mean that Brunson's gone, but
I think Brunson's gone.
I think so too. I think the Knicks are gonna like pay whatever to get him, and that's cool.
Should.
Like, we can get Zach LaVine.
Get your money, honey.
Zach LaVine's a free agent.
I know that.
Yeah, I want Zach LaVine and then possibly, hopefully, Drummond.
I also liked Miami getting Nikola, not Jokic.
Yeah, man, I wanted to do too.
Yeah, I like him.
Of course you did.
Yeah, I like Houston getting Tata. And I like New Orleans getting Liddell. That was it.
I don't really have I'll find out in 5 years if the draft worked out for certain teams. Johnny Davis going on the Wizards, fine. AJ Griffin was kind of my guy right around there. But go either way. Davis comes in, he can play defense, athletic as all get out. He's a scoring option on a team that he can play in that backcourt with Brad, and they can score. And okay. Beyond that,
They said at least it's not Russell Westbrook.
I'll take Russ back on this team if we get to keep the talent we traded to go get rid of him. Yeah, I mean, it's the thing with the draft. I get it, and I heard a lot of people talk. It's just the NBA draft. I even find the NFL draft going over it to be a chore. The idea of the NBA draft is enough to make my head explode.
Oh no! See, the good thing about the NBA draft is we go over the first round and then we ignore it.
But even in the first round, if you've got Twitter up, Woj is spoiling everything to the point in which, what the fuck is the point?
I love how Woj, because they came to an agreement where like the NBA approached Woj like, hey, can you stop saying who's going where? And Woj was like, okay. And instead of saying like
the Rockets are locked in on such and such, it's like
Miami,
we know what you're doing.
Sham said, fuck it. He's like, nah, they taking him.
Yeah. Sham said, hey, Miami is selecting.
Yeah.
Dude,
the funniest part was like they both remember they had like they both said that the team was taking like two different people, but they were both right.
I don't remember that.
Different spots in the first round.
Yeah, it's like a war. Anytime like one insider is going against like another insider saying, Twitter was like, oh shit, one of them's wrong. I was like, no, they both right.
They're both going first round.
Well, as much as
are we gonna get to how bad the Knicks are or not?
If you want to talk about like the Knicks
are stupid and it was trash.
Yeah,
I feel bad for Knicks fans.
I don't. They made a decent trade though. Like they got 3 first-round picks from OKC. So
they're not gonna ever use them. They're so protected that
they'll send them to Dallas.
Those picks are so protected that they're never gonna come up. So it's like
they'll get the Denver pick. They'll get the Denver pick.
Protected 1 through 14 until 2025.
Yeah, like the Denver pick, they're not gonna be in lottery anyway, so they'll get that.
And then so they're essentially gonna have one. They got Washington's first round pick in 2023, protected 1 through 14, and then protected 1 through 12 in 2024. Protected 1 through 10 in 2025, and then protected 1 through 8 in 2026. The Wizards going to be bad for so long that they're not going to get that one.
First of all, you watch your fucking mouth. You're right, but you watch your fucking mouth.
All right, you know what? You
said another fucking European, you cocksucker.
You said. Oh.
Okay? I like K-Dot goes to the cocksuck when he gets cranky.
Yeah. All right, and then
I am high as fucking balls. I've been paying attention to the trade thing more than anything. I'm on hydrocodone and weed. I don't know what the fuck is happening right now. I just want to watch a movie.
The one
I'm about to watch Dr. Strange.
I'm about to watch everything everywhere all at once because I bought it for like 2 fucking weeks now. I've already watched Doctor Strange twice since it came out of Disney.
I haven't seen it yet.
What the fuck is wrong with you? You goddamn V-neck wearing
Oompa Loompa. I work for a fucking living. God damn it.
Spoiler, Doctor Strange dies.
Oh, shit.
He dies in the first 2 minutes of the movie. I know that.
Oh. No, that's not accurate.
Yeah, he does.
It's not accurate.
Yeah, I think it.
Hey, have fun with the movie, Brian.
But yeah, you'll like it.
Get you a nice, good drink.
Are we done? Are we fine?
What are we doing now?
I was going to talk about the Detroit, but whatever. Don't matter.
Fuck Detroit. No, I love Detroit.
Team told us about Detroit.
I was talking about the first round pick from Detroit, but it's cool. It doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah. The first round pick from wait, what is it?
It's okay.
Ford.
What's next?
Last thing, our last topic is Deshaun Watson and the cases being settled. I think he settled cases with most of the women except for 4.
Yep, 20 out of 24.
Yep. So lawyer, give us some deets.
So
do crime, money will get you out of it. Just hire Ryan.
I would imagine. So we didn't hear Deshaun Watson talk for a very long time. And he recently started talking. Now there is a lot of smoke. But it doesn't look at this juncture, like there's gonna be any fucking fire at all. Which leads me to believe, because I know the NFL, that they're gonna suspend him, but not long enough to fuck up the Browns season. I think they'll suspend him for like 2 games, and there'll be an uproar, and there will be protests, and then in 8 months, nobody will think about it. Look, people settle stuff all the time to get it the fuck away, right? It could be that there's a lot of smoke here, but I would find it very hard to believe, given the buddy system in the NFL, that he's not going to be on the field.
There's rumblings that he might be suspended for the season.
Yeah, I think they will. And I think they have to because of the suspension with Calvin Ridley.
Yeah.
So that's just my opinion. That's all I got.
Well, I mean, it's different, but
Ryan,
one's way worse than the other.
That's what I'm saying. So like you're if you only give Deshaun like 6 games and you're kind of saying, which I expect the league to give him 6 games. But if you're saying that, I guess sexual assault is not as important as gambling to the
on
NFL.
Other teams.
Yeah,
had nothing to do with
$1,500 parlay is more important.
They are so all over the map though with how they enforce these things, right?
Yep.
The domestic stuff has been like almost permanent banning from the NFL to 4 or 6 games. Like it's just there's no consistency. And here, which they didn't have the benefit of in previous times with previous players, is these at this point are still just allegations, right?
Yeah.
It hasn't there's no arrests, right?
Yeah,
and so I think there's no you're right. Nobody got arrested. There's just a lot of allegations that I think
you know what's crazy?
The NFL's going to take
at it now.
a lot. They're going to take a lot of credit and being like, well, these are just allegations. They were settled out of court. And we think that, there should be some punishment handed down, and everybody in the world is going to be like, whatever they give him, we're going to be like, that's probably not enough.
Yeah. I think you're making the wrong comparison.
Oh, sorry. I think they're going to have him on the field this year. I don't see a world in which they don't. And
8 games tops.
I don't think that's the right thing to do at all. I think he should be suspended for a year. That being said, I very highly doubt he will be.
Do you remember the one guy in the NFL that essentially got canceled? Greg Hardy?
Yeah.
You remember him?
Mm-hmm.
How long was his suspension? Do you know?
2 years?
No.
8 games.
It was 10 games and it got reduced to 4.
Yeah.
So if they did that with him,
did he body slam that woman on some guns?
Yeah, and bullets everywhere. Like, bruh.
8 games most. I also say the comparison to Calvin Ridley, while apropos, makes all the sense in the world. The comparison that needs to be made for the NFL right now is Roger Goodell's on Capitol Hill talking about how the owners need to be held to a higher standard than the players are, while Dan Snyder got called up by Congress and he's on a yacht off the coast of France. Okay.
Yeah, no, dude, he's in Cannes or Cannes,
depending on who you talk to.
Well, I'll tell you what, you know how long of a boat ride that is from Cannes back to the United States? He would never have made it.
I think more likely than not, it was already over there and he took a flight, but it's just me. Also really weird that he's over there in the middle of like the black entertainment. Never mind. Like the idea that if they suspend him,
it's women.
If they suspend Deshaun Watson right now or close to the start of the season, and Congress is sniffing around Washington Commanders at all, with a lot of things being just allegations and lawsuits and things that have been settled, it's going to be really hard to answer a lot of those questions when Roger Goodell is facing Congress. I think you've just got to deal with what it is they're dealing with right now, and that's going to be the thing. So I doubt there's anything that's going to come down the pipeline for Deshaun, especially if he could settle all these things out of court.
I don't think that's right. I want to be clear. I don't think that's the right decision. I just think that's the decision NFL is going to make.
No, the NFL rarely makes the right decision.
Yeah. With you.
You know what they did do? They took my jewels. They banned them, but they won't ban Deshaun Watson. It's crazy. It's crazy. Crazy.
Are we?
They don't make the right decision morally. They do make the right decision on how to fucking do a draft and not have people spoil it every goddamn pick. Sorry, we can end.
Are we ready for final thoughts?
Yeah, can I go on first?
Yeah, you go first.
No. I feel like I know what you're gonna say.
What?
Let me
take a guess. Take a guess.
Happy birthday.
No, fuck you. Take a guess.
Bitch, I just said happy birthday, my mom.
No.
Go ahead.
Say happy birthday to your mom.
Yeah, thank you. Happy birthday, mom.
All right, here we go. He's unmuted now. He probably called you a cocksucker.
No, I don't like James tonight, but that's the thing. It's like
me and James any night.
No, me and James have beef because that phone conversation earlier today was the weirdest goddamn most awkward conversation.
I'd say what I had to say.
Huh?
I just said say what I had to say.
I know. I listened. I totally got it. I listened. Right, and how often do you know that I don't fucking talk? I didn't say shit.
Good.
I know. No, we're not good. We're not good, but we'll figure it out. We're not good. We're going to figure it out. I know what he's going to say. Let me get mine in here. For you know what the fuck I was saying. Shut the fuck up. All right. Beyond that, me.
You're the one that has the issue.
Nigga, shut up. Why would you mute him?
I am. I did. I'm fair. I'm balanced.
The Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade. It's some fucked up shit. And people need to be upset and they need to be angry about it. The fact is that the GOP and the conservatives have been doing this fucking shit for a very long time, but telegraph it the entire fucking way. And while we sit around talking about not going far enough and trying to figure out the right way to do shit, the GOP is just getting shit done. This is Mitch McConnell's fucking wet dream come true. They packed the courts and they have been for years now. And they got what it is they wanted. And they're not going to stop here. Take a look at all the other constitutional rights that they're going to fucking come for. If you think same-sex marriage or everything is safe right now, you got another fucking thing coming. Outside of that, The Boys on Amazon Prime is probably the best goddamn show I've ever seen in my life. The episode that got aired last night might have been the most fun I've ever had watching TV, period. And if you're not watching that fucking show, you need to.
You good? You done?
Yeah, I'm not spoiling shit.
Ryan, you want to go last? You want me to go?
You can go because
right.
Nobody's gonna like my opinion. Hopefully, they talk about it.
I'm coming with Obi-Wan spoilers for anybody who hasn't seen it.
I haven't seen the last.
Nigga, fuck you! Don't send me a text about I knew what he was gonna talk about, James.
All right, go ahead, bud.
All right, I'm coming with Obi-Wan spoilers. Listen,
I don't know why he's so mad, bro.
Giving you guys 3 seconds to do whatever you got to do if you don't want to hear spoilers about this last episode. 3
of what?
2,
of what?
Obi-Wan.
Oh, okay, hold on. Shit.
3.
Just turn the
2,
volume off.
1. I'm about to talk about it. All right, so Darth Vader is a bitch. Like, bro. They be trying to fucking tell me he's supposed to be a fucking terrifying villain. He is weak as shit. He don't got no bodies. He ain't beat nobody but younglings and his fucking wife. He ain't beat no fucking body. Ben Kenobi, not even one of the most powerful Jedi, he beat his ass twice. He done beat his ass twice. You supposed to tell me Darth Vader, oh, he the chosen one. He the chosen one. What he chose to do? He ain't chose to get his ass beat. He got his ass beat on a mountain because he's fucking arrogant and thought he could beat Ben, even though he didn't have the high ground. And then he had the chance to kill Ben, but he got too fucking arrogant again. And he a fucking earthbender and just fucking collapsed the fucking mountain on Ben and all that shit. And it's like, okay, cool, we got him. I'm gonna walk away instead of making sure this nigga dead. And so like, okay, I want to make him suffer like he made me suffer. All right, Ben, show back up, bitch. I'm still here. And all right, boom, boom, and whooped his ass. He made him look bad. He made bro. How is he the chosen one? He ain't beat nobody in the films or TV series that's worth talking about. He beat Count Dooku, and he had help. He beat some younglings. They children. He not supposed to lose. He killed Palpatine. Like, I guess
Rogue One.
Like he snuck him. He stole off on him. He stole off on him.
Man, he couldn't.
What about Rogue One?
He couldn't even kill that one bitch.
He beat some children. I mean, he beat some adults that aren't worth talking about in Rogue One. I mean, like,
they have blasters.
Who is that's worth talking about?
He's got a metal suit on.
Hold on. I understand it to a certain degree, but I think that the point of this episode, when seeing, and I guess we're in spoiler territory, the point of this episode to me is the moment in which he goes to Palpatine and Palpatine questions him is the moment that he truly becomes Darth Vader. I don't think he's truly Darth Vader yet. Like, that to me is like, if they bring Hayden back for another series, which I don't know, I think there's gonna be enough clamoring about something like that. Then I think it gets badass. But I think right now, Christensen, the actor,
Christensen.
Yeah. What Palpatine question was like, "Yo, I think you're kind of weak because of this whole thing." Like, there's like he called him out. The same thing. Like, he called him out. He's like, "Yo, you're making this blind you." Like, the fact that, and then he sheds the rest of it. He's shedding Anakin at that point. Now he's Darth Vader. Now this is when I think you're getting to get into ruthless territory. But what I won't forget is, before I get the kids and stuff, but that's some ruthless shit. That's some heartless shit.
But it's weak.
I'm not saying, no, hold on. He was mollywopping the shit out of Obi-Wan until the fire showed up.
He wasn't molly.
He was trying to torture him. He was trying to torture him.
I recently rewatched it. He was beating Obi-Wan at first, and then when they got to like the magma, when they were on the two things floating on the magma, Obi-Wan was beating his ass.
No, it's all about Seth. I'm talking about in the first showdown in the Obi-Wan show.
Oh yeah, he had him. He had him.
But you remember he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna drag this out. You're gonna feel it exactly the way I felt." Right, and that's what it was. Right, and then the bigger criticism I have of this series: why the fuck don't you kill him if you're Obi-Wan? That to me was the most egregious thing. It's like, you walked away.
I understood that though. I understood that because that scene was great. Where you could see the pain in Obi-Wan's eyes.
I get it.
When he's like, "I'm sorry, Anakin. Like, I'm sorry." And then like when they go to the blue light, you see the blue of his lightsaber like reflecting off of his helmet, and he's like, "You didn't kill Anakin."
Raise his head. It's the red. I did. Yeah,
I did. And I was like, "Oh, that's a badass. That was dope." And so I felt like he was just like, "All right, this is the last time I'm gonna let your ass live." I just felt like that was his like he felt so bad because he saw him. He finally saw what he did to him.
I don't know, but
I still agree with you. Come on, I still agree with you for sure.
Because how many more people gotta fucking die? I can
justify that decision.
Like, Alderaan may still be around if you get a little stabby. But here's another thing: unless you're falling off a tall platform in Star Wars, apparently you're just not dead.
Mace Windu ain't dead.
Nobody is unless you see it. Like, you got to see it. They got to fall, and you got to do the whole thing. Yeah. All right, I'm done. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm done. Go ahead, Ryan.
Oh, we want to listen to my opinion now? Is that
no, but it's the only fair thing to do. I just want to yell at James some more.
So to jump off your point, hold on.
You good, bro?
No, I'm not good. I'm not fucking good.
All right, so, look, after the pod, we can talk.
No, we're not talking. We can give it a day. I'm not picking up the phone. We're not talking tonight.
Okay, fine. I'm perfectly fine.
So just to piggyback off K-Dot's point, it's well known that Roe v. Wade was bad law, but we have bad laws on the books everywhere. Supreme Court made a poor decision. That's really unfortunate. I understand the overturning of bad laws based on the fact that they're bad law, but you don't overturn it to the detriment of tens and tens and tens of millions of people. That's it's just bad. And it's a bad law, but then you're overturning it, making it worse. I don't know. That being said, I think there's a lot of private companies, public companies, states are stepping up. If you have a job and you have healthcare through your job, and you are in a state where you are currently unable to get an abortion or get the healthcare that you need or procedures you need, make sure you know whether or not your company is supporting you. And if not, there are tons of organizations that are already ready to go to get you to a place you need to go to get that healthcare. I know a lot of the big companies have already set that up. if you need to travel up to $10,000 in terms of travel, they'll cover you. They'll still cover your health care. It's a horrible decision, but there are places out there. If you are somewhere where you need help, there are places that can help you. So make sure that you reach out to find out whether or not you can get that help. And if you can't, there are organizations for free that will do that for you. That being said, so the Mets, which we don't talk about a whole lot of baseball in here, we don't have any pitchers left. Scherzer's hurt, DeGrom's hurt. We lost Cookie to a lat strain. So I think actually I'm going to be pitching tomorrow. So I'm glad we did the pod tonight. I got my trial in the morning. I got a sick curveball about 30 miles an hour. Who
you pitching against?
The Miami Marlins. I think they're putting out Sandy Alcantara against me. It should be a barn burner.
And a drive down to VA, play some bets.
Yeah, no, you can bet in DC now.
I'm not in DC.
Well, you're closer to DC. Are you?
Yeah, but you got to use their app. That's a really bad app.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with you. I think most of the apps are terrible. I love you all. I'm glad to be back.
Glad you're back.
And yeah, you know what? I kind of miss you guys, except for Keem. I miss Keem the most. There it is. All right,
hey,
I love you all.
Notification about the shorts? You get notification about the shorts?
No, what happened?
Nah, I'm just asking.
Oh no, I haven't got anything yet. He said they'll ship in 30 days.
Oh, okay, that's not bad.
I did buy those Jordan 4s, by the way. The ones that just came out.
Respect.
Those shits are fire. Oh, you got me. You're doing all the fucking drops, and I was like, I'm spamming these drops from now on because I cannot not have the shoes. Like, even if I don't want them, I'll just be like, nah, I don't want them. But like, I'm signed up for every single one. What if I miss it? Then I'll be heartbroken.
All right, bye, motherfuckers. Bye. This thing. This fucking.
Hey.
3, 2, 1.